So this plant right here that has a little bit of a metallic sheen to it is called Elaphoglossum metallicum. And if you watch my channel on Plant One On Me, you'll see that there's a lot of Elaphoglossum that we've covered in a lot of botanical tours. And I was very curious as to whether these would be great houseplants, because these, even though they don't look like it, are actually ferns, but they have a really sturdy, almost kind of cardboardy, cycad-ish leaf. Cycads meaning that, like, when I think of cycads, I think of that they have a little bit more of a thick cardboard style leaf. And this one has a very sturdy leaf compared to most ferns, which could be very thin and frilly. And I have to say, I've had this for about 5 years now. This plant hasn't grown very much, but it is an incredibly durable houseplant. And as you could see, if the camera picks it up a little bit, some of the newer leaves get this like really nice blue metallic sheen to it. And I think it's actually quite, beautiful as a plant. Now, you could grow this in a little bit more lower light to mid-light conditions. I actually have this growing underneath my fluorescent grow light near my northeast facing window. I've actually had this in so many different places over the last 5 years, because initially this was growing in my interior space on one of my large kitchen cabinets. When my house went under construction about 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago now, I can't even remember when, I had to get rid of that cabinet and I had to find a new place for it. Then it was kind of more in the interior of my environment, and now it's really settled into my kitchen space. Now, mind you, it hasn't been around a drafty window. It is very nearby my northeast drafty window in the winter months and has seemed to manage fairly well. Now, one of the things you might actually notice is on this leaf, you could see that it has these little notched edges around here, and that is from a house mouse, believe it or not. And it looks like the house mouse ate this and then was like, I think I'm gonna move on. This isn't the tastiest of plants. But I have noticed that when I had pest pressures from house mice, which I don't have anymore, they had specific plants that they really liked, including my Phlebodium, which is another type of fern. It definitely wanted to eat a lot of my peperomia, and it really did a number on some of my Marantas, unfortunately. So all of those plants that, if you look in the ASPCA website, it'll say that all of those plants are actually not poisonous. So I'm assuming my Elaphoglossum is also falls into that not poisonous plant thing. So if you have dogs or cats, then this actually might be a good plant to have. Also for the fact that it's a little bit more cardboard-like, so I don't think cats or dogs are going to want to eat this one very much. Now, I have this in a very peaty mixture, and I've actually found with this plant that it probably would like a little bit of moisture, but because of the way that it grows, and I've seen these plants, Elaphoglossums, actually growing natively in Southeast Asia. This one's more of an Ecuador, Peru, Colombia species, but they're growing a little bit more epiphytically, and they're growing on dead wood or live trees or anything along those lines. So it's probably used to getting dried out. As I mentioned, some of the newer leaves have that kind of metallic blue sheen. So those are iridoplasts. Those are modified chloroplasts to help bring in a little bit more of that light. So again, if you're growing this in a low light condition, great plant to have. But just keep in mind that it's not going to be one of those ones that is going to be like a full flush of foliage, similar to like a Boston fern, if you will. But it's just a really rare and unique species. So if you could get your hand on one of those, then I would definitely get it. Fertilizing, it really doesn't need a tremendous amount of fertilizer. It doesn't grow that very much. So I would say on a monthly basis, giving it a more well-balanced fertilizer like a 10-10-10 or a 1-1-1 is going to be great. You can maybe even bring it up to a bi-weekly basis during the spring and summer months. But like I said, this is not like growing like gangbusters at all, but it's just a really unique plant to have within a collection.